We are here with Tina Martini and David Susler, two local Chicago lawyers who write a regular monthly column for a Chicago lawyer magazine called Inside Out, and they are talking today about law schools. Well, thank you both for being with us here today.
Thank you.
I guess to start, does it matter where you went to law school?
I think it does. And it's particularly true if you are looking to practice law in bad economic times. I think that if you don't have prior work experience, for example, and you're looking for a job that will enable you to practice, I think that where you went to law school is going to be a critical factor, especially if you want to go to a large law firm. If you don't have prior work experience and you're looking to practice, your law school is going to be one of the very few distinguishing factors that will separate you from some other people that you may be up against for that legal position. Or if you're looking at a smaller firm, sometimes where you went to law school doesn't really matter as much.
And once you graduate law school and you pass the bar exam, you can become a licensed attorney. Where you go to law school does not determine how good a lawyer you can become. Where you went may impact where you start your career and maybe help open some doors more easily throughout your career, but ultimately it doesn't prevent you from having a very successful, very satisfying legal career.
And so besides law school, how else can law students get an education about the practice of law?
These days, it's a lot easier for students to find out about the legal profession, find out about the practice of law. For example, there are internships, summer associate positions with law firms as well as corporations and with the government, in addition to judicial externships. And so each of those positions provide very powerful on-the-job training in the area of law and enables people to get a really good sense of what practicing law will be like once they graduate. My biggest piece of advice to students would be that you can never start networking, too early, and that they should really try to start networking among professionals as quickly as possible.
You can't get a paid job for the summer, volunteer for not-for-profits and other types of agencies. Different government agencies have internships that you can get both during the school year and over the summer. Some corporations have summer intern positions in their in-house departments. Organizations like the ACC Chicago chapter have a summer internship program. Those are all different ways that you can learn about the practice of law. I also think there is a difference between learning about the practice and learning to practice law. Learning about the practice is kind of like learning how to drive. You grow up in a town, you know how to go everywhere, but that very first time you get behind the wheel, all of a sudden you're a little unsure. Or it's like painting. You can look at a painting, talk about a painting, you can know all about the artist's techniques and the artistic media, but that doesn't mean you know how to paint. You have to actually pick up a paintbrush and start painting to know how to do it. And that really is like the practice of law. You have to do it to know how to practice, and there's just no substitute for the actual practice.
So if you guys had the power to make change happen in terms of law schools, what would you do? How would you change law schools? How would you improve upon them?
I think law schools should seriously consider taking the last year of the law school curriculum and making that into some sort of on-the-job experience, pushing the students out of the classroom into the real world to get the experience they need and so they can understand what it's really like to be out there.
I think that first thing that I would do would be to change the law school model and create a formal apprenticeship system. I think law school should be 2 years classroom and a 2-year apprenticeship system that's tied in with graduation. And during that apprenticeship period, you're actually working with practicing attorneys, learning to practice law, and preparing for life in a law firm. And at the end of that time, after you graduate, you're much better equipped to hit the ground running, which, as Tina said, is of increasing importance in today's world. I also agree with Tina about law schools focusing on hiring people or admitting people who have been working for a year or two. I think that should actually be a requirement. I think they should also add courses that teach things such as emotional intelligence, law firm management, client services, courses that introduce students to the soft skills that are at least as important to success in today's law firms and today's practice as are the core
both very much.
Thank you.